In today's video, I have a brand new way to use acrylic paint, and you're not going to want to miss out on this. If you like texture and creating totally unique artwork, you're in the right place, my friend. So let's get started. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be showing you how to use acrylic paint in a really unique way. What you're going to need is some Mod Podge and some dish soap. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Tammy, I've seen the dish soap resin hack. I know what this is. It is not the same thing, okay? Totally different. What we're going to do here is we're going to take Mod Podge, acrylic paint, and dish soap, and we're going to create an embedded texture onto the canvas that you're going to be able to rework and use as a really unique background. And in fact, next week's video, you're going to see exactly what I'm going to be doing with this, and you're going to love it. But anyway, I wanted to get this little bit out there so you can go ahead and create your backgrounds and get ready for next week's big video. So as far as making this concoction, there really is no measurement. I'll tell you, I put about 2 ounces of Mod Podge in the bowl. I put about 1 ounce of the acrylic paint color that I wanted to use and about 10 pumps of the Dawn dish soap. The more acrylic paint you use, the more saturated the color will be on the canvas once you apply it. So just keep that in the back of your head. But again, the measurements really are not that important. The important part is to add the ingredients together and then thin them down with some water. I put about 2 ounces of water into the bowl with my Mod Podge mixture. Well, my Mod Podge acrylic paint and bubbles, dish soap. My brain is in a fog. I'm still in vacation mode. Anyway, so you want to thin that down and then stick a straw in there and start blowing some bubbles. You're looking to create foamy blue suds. You don't want these big bubbles because those won't work. You want the really frothy underlayer there that you see that I'm creating. So just stick the straw in there, keep blowing the solution, and then mix it with the straw to create a nice blue foam. What's really cool about this technique is that it's going to leave an imprint on the canvas. Now, there are videos out there where people use dish soap and acrylic paint and water. They don't add in the Mod Podge, and what happens is they put it, like they'll stamp a vase into the foam, and it leaves like a splattered look on the vase. It's really messy. With the Mod Podge added into the solution, it actually allows the foam to dry on the canvas and leaves behind a texture that you can actually feel with your hands. It's not just a look. And the other thing it did was it left this beautiful staining around the edge of where the bubbles were placed. And it almost looked like a natural agate stone. It was really cool. But anyway, here I go with my foam. You'll see I'm not scooping up any water, just those bubbles on the top, and I'm going to place them on the canvas. I'm also wondering now if I placed this foam, this colored foam, on top of clear UV resin, if it would cure with the blue rings or the blue bubble inlays into the resin. I'm going to have to test that out in a future video. But anyway, I'm going to cover a majority of the canvas in this blue foam. You'll notice I'm being very careful on moving that foam onto the canvas, because if you lay that puddle down on the canvas and then you move it too much, it'll make some stains around the edging of it. And depending on the idea that you want to do, it would look nice in some cases, and you'll see, because for today's video, I just turned this into kind of like a agate stone painting. But if you don't want that outer staining, just be very careful when you place this down that you don't move the puddle around too much. So here we go. You can see a little bit of the pattern underneath that it's going to leave on the canvas. And because we have that glue in there, the Mod Podge, it's going to be a raised texture on the canvas. So once you let it dry, this is what it's going to look like. And you're going to see this furry looking material left behind on the canvas. What that is just a little bit of residue that's left behind from the Mod Podge acrylic paint and the foam, the actual texture of the foam. And you can sweep it right off of the canvas. Here's a good area to show you. It comes right off, and underneath, imprinted into the canvas, is a beautiful circular texture, and it is so cool. If you want to do something like this for an ocean painting as a background, it would be awesome. And like I said, you're getting that texture on the canvas without using resin. So that's another plus, because typically you need to use UV resin to get this type of a texture to adhere to a canvas. So just some glue, acrylic paint, dish soap, and water, you now have the ability to get that texture on your canvas. And again, I've seen a lot of videos where people, again, with the dish soap, acrylic paint, and water, and they go ahead and they just stamp a little design on it, but it doesn't look defined like this. Let me just say, anytime I get to show off my Hello Kitty dustbuster, I'm going to, because I love that thing. It's so cute. And I think everybody should have a mini dustbuster that does any type of arts and crafts. But anyway, moving on. Now it's the next day. I swept off all that leftover residue that was on the canvas, and I want to go back in with a darker shade of blue. So again, I mixed the dish soap, the acrylic paint, the Mod Podge, and the water together. I blew my bubbles. I created my foam. And now I'm going to lay that secondary color in the open spaces. Some of it got onto the previous spaces. That's okay. Again, the whole point of this video is to show you how to create this background for next week's project. So I hope some of you will go ahead and do this during the week, so that when next weekend comes and I show you what we're going to use this technique for, you'll be able to do it and then share pictures of it in my Facebook group. I do have a Facebook group for those of you that don't know that. It's called United We Pour Fluid Art Group. And the link to join that is down in the description. So go ahead and join and share your photos of this technique when you're done doing it. I would love for you all to try this, so that when I release next week's video, you can follow along with that one and do that one as well. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. So again, I'm just placing the remainder of this blue foam down onto the canvas where any of the white spots are. I'm going to let that dry overnight, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So here we are the next day. I'm going to go ahead and sweep off that residue again, that fluffy residue, clean it up, and get ready for the next step. Now for you guys, I want you to stop after this step, okay? I decided to turn this into just like a little geode painting, but again, I want you just to have this background so you could follow along with next week's project. So just stop after this part. So I just pulled out 2 gold markers in different sizes, and I'm just going to create some little fracture lines around the painting because, again, that staining that happened around the bubular, oh boy, the circular area there in the center reminded me of the natural lines in an agate stone. So I decided just to, for funsies, add some gold lines and nothing big, okay? But again, what a cool technique this is. And like I said, those areas with all the little bubbles, it's you could run your hand on it. It feels like it's lace on top of the canvas, like you glued lace down it. It's not just a look. It's actually, it has body to it. And I just love that about it. And could you imagine if you did like a rainbow of colors on a canvas? How beautiful that would look for a background. Oi, I'm really excited about this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish up drawing the lines around these little areas. Again, I wasn't trying to make any like gorgeous piece of art. I was just having some fun with this. And sometimes I need that. Sometimes you may need that just to sit down, relax, and just doodle or do a little mixed media. Just get your minds. Boy, I'm having a very hard time today. Get your mind off everyday life and just have a little bit of you time and relax. So once I was done with that, I decided to add some glue fracture lines into the piece to add a little more dimension. And I really wasn't happy with what I did here, but again, it is what it is. I'm not too mad about it. I felt like it needed a little more white, so I decided to put some white lines by using the glue with some acrylic paint on top of it. And I wasn't happy with it. I should have just kept on with the gold and kept it the two, different tones. But it is what it is. And yeah, I had fun creating it, and I'm not too upset about it. So I added in the glue lines, and then, as I said, I got out some acrylic paint and very gently and very carefully with a paintbrush, brush the acrylic paint on top of the dried glue line. While I have a moment here, I just want to remind you, if you could please hit the like button on the way out, I would really appreciate it. If you could also leave a comment, even if it's just your favorite emoji, I would appreciate that as well. There's also a description you could take a look at for the link to my Facebook group and other important information on ways to follow. And if you're not a subscriber, if you would consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell, I would truly appreciate it. So I'm going to finish up with these glue lines. And then once those are dry, the next step is going to be to put a finish on it. Now, you don't have to put a finish on the painting. You can leave it as is. You can use varnish. However, you know me, I love my resin. And so therefore, I am using resin. And the one thing I love using with resin are these little plastic disposable cups. They are reusable, believe it or not, and I'll tell you how in a minute, but they have the measurements on it, and it makes it so easy to mix up your resin. For me today, I needed 8 ounces for this 12 by 24 canvas, so I mixed up 4 ounces of part A and 4 ounces of part B. You mix them together thoroughly for 3 minutes, making sure that you scrape off your stick, scrape the bottom and the sides of the cup multiple times throughout the 3 minutes, and then you just cover the canvas with it. You pour it on the canvas's surface, and you spread it out, which I will show you in a minute, the best tool for spreading out resin. If you need a link to purchase some resin, I will put that in the description of this video for you. Once you get your resin onto the canvas, you're then going to pull out your best tool that God gave you for spreading out resin, and that is your gloved hand. I'm telling you, it's the best way because you can feel with your hand if you missed a spot. If you use a stick or some type of spatula, it's going to be really easy to miss a tiny spot. And then you're like, oh no, I got to do a whole nother coat on there. So get the gloved hand into that canvas and spread it out. If you do the glue lines, which are a bit raised, you want to make sure you get those covered well. You want to make sure there's resin right up to the edge of the glue line. You want to make sure it's everywhere, especially your edges. So take your time. There's no rush. Spread it out all over the canvas. And then you got to pop your air bubbles. I use a creme brulee torch, but you can also use a heat gun if you have one of those. You're going to go ahead, pop the bubbles, and then you're going to let it rest for 24 hours. And when you come back, you're going to have a painting that is coated what looks like in a piece of glass, encased, I should say, not coated. It looks like your artwork is encased in a piece of glass. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous finish. So anyway, we're going to put this to bed now, and this is what we're going to be looking at the very next day. So here we are, my friend, just a simple agate painting. But again, I want you to get out a canvas and create this texture on it for next week's video. If you look very closely at the gold lines, you can see some of the texture underneath them. I'm going to show you that in a second. But again, it is a really, really cool effect. So do you see that gold line? Can you see the texture protruding through it? That is because it's actually raised on the canvas. So again, a really unique effect. I'm going to come back next Sunday and we are going to make one hell of a painting with this. So I really hope you join back next Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you have those backgrounds ready. I love you all. Thank you so very much for joining me. And until next time, happy creating.